All right. Well, here we go. Still exploring all of the things that Substack can do. So, this is Sean Starwars. I've been on Substack for about a year. Don't use it very consistently. Definitely don't use it very thoroughly. One of the things I do a lot of live streaming on TikTok and on Instagram. Of course, I post a lot of videos there and on YouTube and been trying to use Substack a little bit better. But one of the things that I really have just verified, I guess, that it's actually working is that when I do post a video here on Substack, which is part of how I do my newsletters, it does, in fact, make it a podcast that's downloadable, listenable on Spotify, which is kind of cool because it's just one more platform to be able to do all the things that I'm trying to do. So I'm not sure. This is the first time I've gone live over here on Substack, and I'm not sure if in the end it's going to allow me to save this and to utilize it as a post and ideally also as a podcast. And if that's the case, then moving forward, I'm going to be doing a lot of this because I love doing the lives anyway. Right. But we'll see how that goes. It could be that this just evaporates when I'm done and that's the end of it. And then we'll have to just continue to do the video updates. And whichever it is, it'll be more consistent. I was doing really pretty good. We moved to New Orleans in August after 20 years of being away from New Orleans and living in Mississippi. And it's been such really it sounds like hyperbole, but it's just been a whirlwind of activity since August when we've moved here. My 16-year-old twins are going to NOCA, New Orleans Center for Creative Arts, for their art high school experience, and that's the main reason that we moved here. But that's just been this other factor, just another component to all of the moving parts that we have going on over here. And there's it's a ton more to do on any given moment than there ever was back home in Laurel, which is no longer my home. So we're here, we're loving it. And it's been a good little stretch of time, but I'm still getting used to what my day can be like over here and to what just all of the frenzy of activity for all of us. It's now everybody's getting older too, so it's hard to coordinate, you know, uh, if they're both 16, the twins, but if they drove, it would further complicate it. But lucky for me, right now, in some ways, they don't drive, so that's not a factor. But they're doing so many things, and we have to drive here and there and the other place and the other place and all that junk. So anyway, um, this is I don't want to sink too much into this one in case it doesn't connect to being a post and a podcast. So I'm probably going to cap this one off after about 5 minutes. And not that you need to know the inner workings of my brain, but I could actually just delete the whole thing. E- Either way, if it's just alive, then that's fine. We'll see. We'll find out in a few minutes. Um, and Why 5 minutes? Why not just stop now and see what it does? But I also love doing it. So we'll just see what it does. So and I'm already repeating myself because I had recorded about 20 minutes of video that was going to be for Substack on my phone, and then I couldn't upload it as a clip other than in 5-minute increments. And I was out of the house all day yesterday. It just got confusing and it ended up that I'm not doing what I'd posted. I don't think I'm going to repost it, but I'm already repeating myself from the bulk of what I was saying then, which is the big thing at the end of this year as I'm getting ready for 2026. I'm super excited about this upcoming year. Can't believe how quickly 25 just blew up into dust. It's been a long, crazy year, globally, politically, locally, in every possible way. It's been a lot less of a predictable year than a lot of recent years. But I have gotten a lot of good work done in this year, and I'm super excited about just dominating 2026. I feel like um, in the world of color woodcuts, it's there to be taken, right? So uh, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a lot of large scale color woodcuts, and uh, I think it's going to be a special year, and it's also the 30th anniversary of Frankenberry versus the Klan. And so we're going to do some really fun things to commemorate that. A lot of really special and some top secret things. But it's going to be bananas if I can possibly help it. Um, and kind of in the spirit of some of the things that we're going to be doing with that is also um, the realization that I guess this last 4 years, especially that I've been doing this full time, that I haven't been working any other place, um, we've been so caught up in just getting as many T-shirts printed up and into people's hands. It's been such a focus. It's still going to be a pretty important part of what we're doing. But the flip side of that is that the multicolor woodcuts, I wouldn't say they've I wouldn't say they've taken the back seat, but what I realize is that the woodcuts are really almost not existent as a part of our economics, right? As a part of our family income. I probably don't like this last year. I bet I did not bring in $3,000 with just my straight up woodcuts on paper, right? Which, I mean, I would definitely pick up $3,000 if it was laying in the streets, but $3,000 is just a drop in the bucket of what goes through here. And it's not anywhere near as important as I thought it was. If I had thought about it, I would have said, "Oh, definitely, it's we're bringing in more money than that." But the other part is, um, because it's not that crucial for our day to day operations, then it's not that crucial for the prices to be just so absolutely accessible, right? Because pricing is always a weird thing, right? Um, it always is. From the first time you price your artwork, while you're still, a college freshman or earlier, to right now, that whole range, 35 years of experience, that whole range, it's very personal, and sometimes it's better thought out. Sometimes it's more a realistic estimate of what you could get for your work, and all of the different ways that you can think about that. But I definitely, over the years, have always placed a higher premium on having the prints to be affordable so that more people would be able to connect with them and bring them into their lives. Um, that's been the top priority rather than milking every last dollar that the work could be getting for me. That's never been it's never tipped the scales in that equation. It's always been, I'd like them to be affordable, even ridiculously affordable at times, and that way, anybody that wants them can have them. But honestly, that's really kind of more of what the t-shirts should do, and the prints should maybe be a little bit more aspirational, right? That like you don't I mean, everybody's income is different too. I I was at the mall yesterday. I wanted to pick up another one of these at the little pop-up Toys R Us that's temporarily in our mall, and they raised the damn price. First of all, because I knew that they were $15.99, $16, right? And now they're $18.99 a month after I got this one. Right? So first of all, that kind of pissed me off and I didn't get one. But the other thing was, just to make my point, I don't even spend $20 personally. I don't spend $20 without a little bit of reflection and And I also don't even spend $20 without telling my wife, and so it's like I'm not going to get it, right? But most people, I don't think, spend a lot of time thinking about how they're going to spend $20. And there's a whole wide world that I'm not really privy to, but there's a whole world of people that wouldn't think twice about buying a print for $200 anytime they saw one. But that's not my world. So $200 isn't like just open up your wallet and buy it every time you see, but it's also really very affordable. You know, it's like you could buy a 40-inch TV for $200, right? And so what am I going to do with $200? Am I going to buy a print? Am I going to buy a TV? All right. Now you can get a 75-inch TV for $400. So it's like, okay, well, maybe, maybe this print should be closer to that range, right? I don't know. I don't have to equate it with TVs, but I'm just saying you don't go to the store and buy a TV every day. You don't go to the art gallery or go online and buy a print every day. You definitely think about it, but it's that whole range of how people um, choose to spend their money. And I hear from people that are like, I'm going to get one of these shirts in 2 months. And then I hear about people that I'm going to get one of these prints in a month or whatever it is. So whatever the economics of it is, I guess what I'm saying is the prints are not bringing in a ton of money per week, per day, per week, or per month, or annually, right? So if I'm selling one print a month at $200, that's probably about what it is, right? And so I feel like there's a lot of reasons that would factor into that. The number one is that's what I'm charging for the prints. So if I sell one print a month and I'm only asking $200, then I can only bring in $200 a month off my prints. If I'm asking $300, then I've just added a lot of money. If I charge 400, then I've doubled it, right? For some people, that's just another 200, but for me, that would be doubling what I'm getting. So, and if I'm not selling them every month, I can afford to not get that $200 or not to get that, because I have so many woodcuts. And that's the thing is I'm always making work. There's so much available of what I do that I think there's a part where the urgency isn't there, right? And because I don't typically edition my prints, there's definitely no urgency, right? The things that I have that are editioned normally, well, A, they cost more, but two, they kind of sell more consistently, sometimes with some absolute urgency. And I've just been very resistant to that over the years, right? But I think I'm at a place now where I'm going to cease to be resistant to consistent editioning, and I'm going to let less available prints do more of the heavy lifting as much as they can, right? And then hopefully still continuing to sell t-shirts and skateboards and stickers and prints on wooden panels that are inherently unique from piece to piece. But I really, I'm expecting in the coming days, like on Sunday, almost a week from now, on Sunday, I'm taking all paper prints off my website that aren't editioned, and they're not going back on until individual images have been editioned. And obviously, moving forward, I'm only going to be editioning prints with the one exception of, and maybe this shouldn't even be an exception, but the one thing that I do like to do that's not editions are when I pop up these little things with my little Sheena woodcuts and make these compositions. But I think I'm going to be doing those less frequently, you know. And when I do them, I guess those will be additions too. So I don't know. There's like the most important thing to me is to make work, and the second most important thing is to get it into people's hands. And way down that list, the priority of how much money it brings in. But I think if the prints are a fair bit more expensive, then there's more value to them, right? So when you buy one and you've made the decision that yes, I am spending 400 on this or 800 on this or whatever it is, you know, but then you know that no one's getting it for cheaper. No one, and you also know there's not a ton of them floating around. I think that's also a misconception that people sometimes have if they are thinking about my work, which isn't as much as you would ever hope. But I think people do think that like I'm making a ton of these and that's why I'm not auditioning, when the fact is I make a ton of work. I don't make a ton of individual prints, right? I want to make it and move on, not spend all the resources of time, effort, material costs in auditioning something only to find out after I've made 30 of a print that I just don't like it that much, right? So this way I make it, I share it, and then I move on. And that's worked out really well for me over this long number of years. But I think, I think moving forward, even though I'm not slowing down, I think I can just be a little bit more intentional and have everything work a little bit harder for me. Right. But by taking, 150 prints that are available right now or whatever the count is, taking those all off the website, then your options are, if I want something, I can only get what's available. And what will be available are edition prints. And if you want something that's not quite up to here, then there's the shirts. If you want something cheaper than shirts, there's the stickers, you know, more expensive than a shirt, there's a skateboard, you know. But if you want the real core of what it is that I do, of what my work is all about, then I think it's fair that that those works are are just bringing in what their worth is, right? Because you know, um, you don't get licensed by anybody to charge what you want for your work, you know. And you could ask $1,500 for something and never sell it, or you could ask $1,500 for something and sell out, and to other people that might know better or might have seen more, that thing wasn't worth $150, right? But people spend what they want, and people spend what they're required to spend to get something. And I think it's, well, I know that I know that there's room to charge more for my work, and I don't think it will affect the amount of work that I sell. If anything, it might increase it because there'll be additions. So that's the theory. That's what we're going to do moving forward. And we're also now at a good stopping point. I'm going to get off the live. I appreciate the two of y'all that have been on here during the live, three if that's counting me. But anyway, this, like I said, this is my first live stream on TikTok, and I don't know if at the end of this, when I stop, if I can post it as an actual update to my Substack or what. And then also I don't know, but I assume that I'm going to be able to, and it will also be a podcast and on Spotify. And so this will be my last one that's quite so rambling and quite so open-ended. And moving forward in the coming days, they'll all be a little bit more intentional in serving all of those different platforms and serving all those various ways that people take stuff in, and just being a little more mindful of that. So anyway, in the meantime, it's time to stop what I'm doing and to get back on cutting some woodcuts. So hope to see you soon. As you know, as always, please like, share, comment, follow, buy. You don't have to do much. Just do all those things. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I will be seeing all of y'all as soon as we cross paths. All right. Take care. Mhm.